Hey, listen, I have to go. Someone wants to watch my video, alright? I love you too. Bye bye. Bye. Welcome to a video about a part of sim racing I had to learn the hard way. This video is kind of a sequel to my last one. You don't need to watch it first to understand this one, but it adds some context, so feel free to check it out later. And if you already watched it, left a like, sub or comment, please stick around till the end of this video because I want to say something to you.
What this video is about.
Most sim racing advice out there is correct. It's just not all the advice. And maybe it's that missing part or different point of view that brings your racing one step further. And I noticed something important as my iRating went up. I had to change how I race depending on my rating. And I'm not talking about driving technique here. This is about racecraft, about understanding why certain things keep happening in races and how they directly affect your results. And before we jump into the first chapter, I want to show you this graphic. Here you can see what percentage of drivers you're in, depending on your rating. And I think this is pretty interesting. It showed me that I was actually better than I thought. And if you find yourself somewhere lower than you'd like, take it as opportunity because it means there are a lot of possibilities to grow. And that's a positive thing.
You are fast.
Sorry.
What?
Can you please shut the f up because people don't like you. It's really annoying, okay?
Go fuck yourself, asshole.
So there is a high chance that your current pace is already fast enough for you to reach that next step. Actually, you might even be too fast to reach that next step. That's exactly what happened to me. I had zero real racing experience and I didn't even watch motorsports. So when I started sim racing, the only thing I could do was to drive as fast as I can. And yes, in lower splits that worked. I was often faster than most of the field. But the problem was I never practiced racecraft. I never practiced racing other cars. And how should I? There is no AI in this world that can prepare you for racing with real drivers anyway. And you can see the results of that everywhere. Why do you think there are so many crashes in every single split? It's not just because people miss their braking markers or people just can't drive. It's also because every driver races differently, with different expectations, different risk tolerance, different ideas of what is right and what's wrong. Even at the highest level of motorsport, people argue about who was right and who was wrong. So how can we expect the guy next to us, playing a video game, to think exactly like we do? We don't know if the guy next to us is a Porsche Cup test driver in a 20k sim rig or a 9-year-old kid wearing flip-flops driving his cousin's Smurf account on a tube television with a family fiesta going on in the background. So what's the solution? It's not finding the perfect racecraft rules because they don't really exist. The solution is accepting that every driver races by their own rules. And you have to adapt to that.
How the fuck is anybody still watching this shit?
So a while ago I shared clips from 2 races on social media and people absolutely roasted me for it. I'll show you the raw clips first so you can form your own opinion, and after that I'll walk you through what I was thinking at the time.
Fucking hell.
Simon, you were not even clear. Where the fuck are you trying to go? No way. No way. What are we doing?
What a fucking disgrace for his whole family.
Alright, first clip. So what I did here looks pretty stupid to a lot of people, and that's because it is. Not because it was illegal, but because it was a bad decision. And there is an important difference I didn't understand at the time. Over the last few laps I was faster than these guys. And because they were fighting through this turn, I got a much better exit, so I went for the first gap I could find. Back then I didn't even know bump drafting was a thing. So once I saw space, I went for it. The moment I'm squeezed in between them, everything starts happening at once. I'm trying to avoid contact with the orange car, adjusting my steering, and at the same time I assume that purple will react to what I am doing. And that's the mistake. From purple's perspective, I completely understand why he's angry. He's fighting for position and suddenly this asshole comes from behind and forces himself into the smallest gap on earth. The core problem isn't who was right or wrong in that moment. It's that once I went for that gap, I put myself in a situation where too many things were out of my control. And aggressive decisions like that only work if everyone involved reacts perfectly. And in my experience, that's rare. Now let's look at the second race where things get even worse. 3 crashes with the same driver. So if you don't know, F4 races in iRacing can get wild, especially on a track like this. That's why I was fully expecting people to make mistakes all the time. And the first incident happens right in lap 1. We are going free wide into turn 1 and I leave extra space on the inside to give the blue car room for mistakes. And at the same time I'm worried about getting hit from behind. That's why I delay my braking so much that I miss the corner and I still get hit from behind. 2 laps later the same driver goes off track. He rejoins far to the side and is pretty slow, so I assume he's aware of me and lets me pass him. But that's where he's like, nah, fuck this guy. And once I realize that, it's already too late to avoid the collision. The next lap there is another rejoin from... oh, look at that, the same guy. This time it has no physical impact on me, but after the first 2 incidents, this perfectly timed rejoin across the whole track felt more like luck than anything else. A few laps later, everything feels good now. I'm in the zone, the car feels like it's on rails, and that's exactly when the final incident happens. I'm already committed to the overtake when suddenly this strange, frightening, uncomfortable green starts to appear behind the horizon. And I'll be honest, I didn't even try to avoid it. Not because I didn't want to, but because my brain just stopped working. I just could not believe that shit is happening again. I mean, I don't care if it's his or my fault at this point, but this has to be on purpose. Like, what the fuck? Why is this guy off track again? And why is he rejoining the 3rd time right in front of me? How many times must this dude have been off track in total? Look. The crash itself isn't the point, it's what led up to it. Bad decisions don't just cause one incident, they build pressure, they overload your head, and eventually they take away your ability to react when it actually matters. So, who do you think was at fault? Me? Them? It does not matter. The reality is, situations like these can and will happen in races. Is that fair? No. But reality doesn't care. And when I realized that and transferred it into my driving style, my results instantly got better. Not my pace, but my results. So what does all of this have to do with iRating? Well, in lower splits, these differences in expectations are extreme. And as your rating goes up, they slowly become more aligned. Not because people suddenly agreed on the same rules, but because experience slowly pushes everyone in the same direction. And that changes how you should approach races entirely. In low split races, this means driving more passive than you think, giving more space than you think, braking earlier than you think, shifting your focus from being fast to simply finishing the race. Losing one position is absolutely worth it if it means you're still in the race. And to be honest, yes, racing like this is often not that much fun. It doesn't really feel like racing. You're not having tight battles, you're not fighting for every inch. But at this stage, that's just not what you should be chasing. Because the quality and consistency of the drivers around you simply does not support that kind of racing yet. But here's the good thing about it. Later, once you work on your pace again, you'll notice something. You will stay calmer and make better decisions. And now I will show you the last race that I drove because it's a perfect example for that. I qualified P2 for this race and you can clearly see the different approach in turn 1. I'm not even trying to fight for position here. My only goal is to survive the first lap. And honestly, I didn't feel comfortable at all in this race. The tires felt super slippery and the car just didn't feel right. So just a few corners later, I lose a position. And again, I don't defend. I only focus on getting comfortable and building my pace. A bit later, the exact same situation happens that I talked about in my last video. In the exact same corner, the car in front brakes earlier than I expect. I almost hit him, completely mess up the exit, and that brings the car behind right up my ass. So he goes for the overtake a few corners later. I try to defend, but he does a great job and gets a much better exit, and instead of forcing something risky, I lift. I let him go. Unfortunately, that also opens the door for the next car into turn 1. So after just 3 laps, I've already lost 4 positions, which means I'm in P5 now. And honestly, I did not care. They were fast at that point, so they earned those positions. And that's why the tires finally start to feel a bit better. The car feels safer now and I can push a bit. And that's when I can get 1 position back. To me, that was a good race. I was not comfortable in this race, but still finished without any major incidents and I had control the whole time. And on top of that, I finished positive for iRating and safety rating. So here is what I focused on and what actually helped me. Choose races with many drivers and splits, so your competition is close to your level. Drive more passive than you think. Always be ready for strange moves from other cars and focus on becoming a better driver, not on gaining iRating. Your driving decides your iRating and not the other way around. And that's it. Simple to say and honestly, not that hard to execute. Alright, before you leave, this is really important to me. You probably noticed that this channel is still brand new. The last video I uploaded was actually my first real one, and honestly the response completely blew me away. I expected maybe 100-200 views and a couple of likes, and right now it's already way beyond that, so that's already amazing. But what really hit me hard was the amount of kindness, support and genuinely thoughtful comments you guys left. With the social media stuff and YouTube videos, I'm trying to build something positive. Not just for me, but also for the people watching. So I hope that my channel will stay a positive place for all of you guys. So I hope that you guys keep on doing what you're doing now. I mean, only if the videos are good. If they are shit, then tell me. So to show you guys how thankful I really am, plus the fact that I made like 1.5k subscribers just from one video, I mean, this screams for the first giveaway on this channel, doesn't it? So the good news is, it's these Scheiße. It's these brand new Redness gloves. I have them as well, they are really great and I love them. But the problem is I only have this exact pair in size large. I'm not sponsored or anything, I bought them myself a few months ago and they didn't fit me. So they are basically brand new. So I might as well just give them to one of you kind people as a giveaway. So if you want to take part in this giveaway, please leave a comment below and tell me what tip or realization helped you the most in your sim racing. It doesn't have to be a tip that I gave in my videos, can be anything. I'll pick the winner in the next few weeks, I don't know, we'll see. And yeah, thanks for now and I hope I'll see you in the next one.